Hello everyone, it's Tyler Scott back again, and I am at a very special place today. I'm at the Los Angeles National Veterans Cemetery. I came here to visit somebody that I knew in life, which hopefully we'll see here before the video is done. But I just wanted to say something beforehand, just for the record, that I hope that nobody takes me doing a video here as any type of disrespect to veterans, as I myself am a 100% disabled Army veteran, and I would never do or say anything to disparage the lives and service of anybody buried here or anybody else anywhere. They deserve respect, but especially here. So with that, let's go take a look at some things here. So I've walked over to the other building and I'm looking at the other side of the property. There's a big, large obelisk up there. We're gonna go check that out here in a minute. And I'm also realizing if you look to the left of that plant, let's see if I can get this right below my finger, right there, those little buildings. That's the Getty Art Museum in LA. Here's a little information board pretty much about how they created the National Cemetery System out of the needs of the dead of the Civil War. And by the 1860s, 1870s, they established some back east, and then it just talks about how they kind of absorbed the ones in the west. And then by the 70s, they were all under one national system. Interesting. Okay, so I've driven up to the top of the cemetery. There's like a hill, and to that obelisk, and we're going to take a look at that real fast, and we're going to take a small look at the outdoor sections, because it makes for a very unique and very beautiful effect, all the headstones being uniform like this. I remember seeing this exact effect at Arlington National Cemetery when I was like 13 when I went there. Really want to go back there again. Think about how many videos we could do there. But let's take a look here real fast. So here are the bathrooms. Here you can literally see the wall of the 405 right there. But they have this little computer kiosk here that is the locator for your loved ones, and you just go up to it, type in a name, print out, and then right there it prints it out. I would show you how to do it, but the thing was so finicky it would just take forever. Just believe me, you just press the it's a touch screen, but the screen was a little weird. A gravesite locator. Let's go find who I'm looking for here. Okay, so I'm on the other side of the freeway now, in this little tiny section here. That's just pretty much this little circle loop here, this little garden with the palm trees. And what's behind me are, you can see all the brand new style outdoor columbarium niches. And this thing behind me is really interesting, and that's what I really wanted to show you. So I'm walking back to my truck from the obelisk. I got hit in the face with the overwhelming smell of eucalyptus. And there's just eucalyptus trees everywhere right here, which are now illegal to plant. These are not even close to some of the biggest ones I've ever seen. But they're very pretty, and they work. They're from Australia, and they grow very well in the climate. But the problem is that when they catch on fire, they go up like little infernos because of all the oil. So that's why they are no longer permitted to be planted, and they're trying to eradicate them. But it does smell good here, and that's right where the relation to the obelisk is. So apparently there's a whole other section across the freeway. That freeway you hear right there is the 405. So we're going to go try to get that done and go see that. And actually that's the main purpose of my visit. Yeah, we're coming up on my truck. And I will see you there. Okay, so I've walked down about halfway here. Very nice, beautiful little palm trees. And that's what it is. It's a garden columbarium. It looks very new, very modern, very nice. And so the people that I knew in life that are here are my two grandparents, Robert Logan and Judith Logan. I've never been here before. I missed the interment ceremony back in April because I had to travel to go see the solar eclipse, and I did and still feel bad about that. because I loved my grandparents. They passed away years ago. I mean, my grandpa died back in '01, and my grandma died in 2016. But, you know, it just takes a while for everybody to kind of get things together about what they want to do with the remains. They were both cremated, and they decided to put them together in the same niche. So with their section 14B, they've made it very easy to locate. Each row has its own number, and then there's 3, 4, 5 rows lengthwise, and they're A, B, C, and D, and then they're numbered 1 through, I think, 50, and the numbers are on the top, letters are on the bottom or on the side. We're looking for B49. And let's see, a lot of these, I'm looking at 2024, 2023, 2024, 2022. So I can tell this is a very new expansion here. All right, should be coming up soon. Yep, sure as day. There they are. My grandpa, Robert D. Logan, Sergeant, United States Marine Corps. He was born 1935 to 2001. And my grandma, Judith Ann, she was born 1938 2000 to 2016. She was born in Rockford, Illinois, and that's fitting. Beloved parents and grandparents, John 3:16. That's very fitting for the two of them. My grandmother was a very pious woman. My grandfather was a very stoic, very honorable man. And I miss them both every day. I do. You know, they were actually they're not my biological grandparents. They're my stepmother's parents. But the thing is, especially over the years have gone by, I don't really think about them and her and that family that way of being my step families as much as just my family. Because as I've gotten older, I've gotten more an appreciation of my grandpa and my grandma here. When my dad married their daughter in 1996, and I was 11, my sister was 7, 8 years old. We were already kind of older, but I got to give them so much credit because they just treated us so wonderful. And they never treated us different than their regular grandkids. They were almost nothing but good to us. And nobody in her family ever treated us different, even though we weren't biologically related to them. Her brothers and her sisters and my cousins, and it was tragic when my grandpa died at 67 of cancer. And back in 2001, look, he's one of the earliest ones in the whole columbarium, but it was tragic because he should have been around for 10 or 15 more years. And my grandma Judy was nothing but sweet and saw the best in everybody and everything. And I miss them both. I'm sorry, everyone. It's sad. It's sad to me, and I'm not made of stone like all of these memorials here. And you know, I think about every time I go to a mausoleum or a cemetery and I do one of these videos, or I'm just by myself taking pictures, I realize that every single name I see, there's people out there that loved and missed them the way I miss and loved my grandparents here. And I would hate to have anybody be disrespectful or anything around their grave, their sites, because I love them and I would never do that to anyone else. That's why I've always tried to be nothing but respectful and humble when I do these explorations of mausoleums. And that is the story of my grandparents. My grandpa Bob and my grandma Judy. He went by Bob, but his name was Robert. He was an interesting guy. He knew so much about computers and history and religion and philosophy, and God, just the most calmest guy ever. We miss him, and we miss my Grandma Judy. All right, so here's that large obelisk. But just for the heck of it, because we're here, let's take a look at some of these headstones here. Looks like the same thing as in the columbarium. Michael Joseph Miller, Corporal, U.S. Marine Corps, Korea. He died September 20th, 2015, almost 9 years ago to the day. And they are taking really good care of the cemetery. All of these rows are neatly manicured. The landscaper guys are out right now hitting it. The grass is very green. Way up there is the oldest part of the cemetery. And it's very different than like San Francisco, where they don't have cemeteries in the city. LA still has plenty of them. William Thomas Parker, U.S. Army, World War II. Martin Joseph O'Neill, born 1914, died December 20th, 1975. All right, it's a little warm today here, even though it's not really. I shouldn't complain. It's just I've been in Ventura for like the last week where it was like 65 degrees all day, and now in LA 82 with some humidity. Oh, but look at this bad boy. This has got to be some sort of monument or memorial to something here. Because yeah, you can clearly see we're right in the middle of Los Angeles. You can see all the buildings and such around us, although in here it looks pretty camouflaged. All right, let's see though. In memory of the men who offered their lives in defense of their country. Look at this bad boy. It's like 30 feet. Let me try to back up. Now, had they made that today, it should say men and women. I just have to point that out. There are plenty of women who serve in the armed forces proudly. Plenty of them who have died in service. I personally served with a lot of women who were very good, competent, and amazing soldiers. See this little information board. Right as I'm trying to talk to you guys, that's when they want to come by with the lawnmower. Huh. All right. The 20-acre National Home Cemetery was established in 1899. The first interment was Mexican War veteran Abner Prather, formerly of the 4th Indiana Infantry. The cemetery was designated Los Angeles National Cemetery in 1973. There are 2 monuments from the National Home's early years. The 27-foot-tall, 3-tiered granite obelisk memorializes all veterans, and that's the one right behind us. The second is a Union soldier mounted on a boulder. I don't know where that's at. Uh-oh, the zinc fee, it's not there. All right, so yeah, it just kind of talks about some of there's 5 Civil War Medal of Honor recipients. Interesting. 27 foot tall. Let's go take a look here. Just like over there, a bunch of cenotaphs right here on all the brick arches. These look pretty new, 99, 2000. But the really interesting part is the inside section here, the only indoor section in the entire cemetery. Memorial Day 2004, where valor proudly sleeps. Los Angeles National Cemetery. This little entryway. They got some uniforms set up here. Marine Corps, Navy. They got the flags. Look at this cool tower up there, letting in lots of natural light. It's beautiful. These glass bricks were very popular back in the 30s, 40s. They're coming back too. Looks like a Army nurses, yeah, uniform. Navy uniform. And then of course the empty table and plate set up for the MIAs and POWs that are sadly some still out there. But it's just rows and rows of columbarium niches, the exact same, letting in natural light. A lot of the 70s, look at this, some of this is even the same month. 4/19/76, they got their name, I think where they were born, the conflict they were in, and their dates of death and birth. It was Johns P. Nielsen, Denmark, World War II. A lot of World War I. We're in California, 1895. World War II, Korea. Very interesting little, good little system if you're ever looking for somebody. A, B, C, D, E, F, G with the numbers. Looks like there might be some still available. Who knows? Once again, this place looks pretty full. I don't really know how it works with these national cemeteries. I don't think that you buy them. I'm not sure how it works, but see, just rows and rows of the same thing. They got numbered sections. They have all the branches, flags going on here. Cool old lights. Very beautiful in here, very open setting. Oh, and look at the bottoms is numbers. So you got the letters, you got the numbers, and the sections should be really easy if you ever need to find someone. Looks like maybe a heating system down there. I don't know. It's not too hot today, so it feels pretty good in here. But wow. Just lots and lots of spaces. Look, mostly the 70s. Now we've gotten in, like, over there it was 72. Now I'm seeing a lot of 1977s, 78s, although an errant 91. World War I, World War II. Huh. Some of them didn't serve conflicts, but they just have their branch on there. Wow. Alexander E. Trout, Colorado, private, World War I. Born 1902, died 77. It's amazing how many people you see here who were not born in California. That was very common, especially even going on into today. The vast majority of the population in California was not born here. They were mostly immigrants. And when I say immigrants, I mean even just domestic immigrants. And a lot of immigrants from across the world. California's always had a history of that. And then there's another section almost identical. A little darker. See the dates on here. 71. Like this one right here, Courtney in Trivet, private, Air Service, California. Died December 16th, 1945. Not very old at all, and that was not very long after the war ended, so who knows what happened there. Like this is interesting. William E. Knebel, California private, July 2nd, 1943. No birth date. He might have actually died in combat. Look, in fact, a lot of these, I'm just noticing, wow, I don't know, maybe this is the section for it, but look at this. Most of these are during the war. And they have just the dates. See, 1943, that's during the war. January 2nd, 1943, that's during the war. I'm just not noticing. Scott, who knows, my relative. Maybe. Yeah, maybe this is the section for people killed in combat. It starts 1941 up top, as you can see. And it seems to get more and more. Well, 1967, that doesn't make sense, but who knows? Interesting, I didn't notice that until just now talking with you guys. Yeah, 43. Let's see what this section is. And it jumps over to the 70s here. But I mean, those could have been in turn here. Some of the 40s, they said that they built this in 1940. And that was the year, about a year before we became involved in the Second World War. See more light. These glass bricks are very beautiful, very cool. They last a long time. Those could very well be the original bricks from the 40s. I know they're very tough, and architecturally they're actually coming back in a big way. These skylights. So definitely a very simple, yet very beautiful and very cool memorial for everyone in here. We thank them for their service and their sacrifice always. Let's go see what else we can see here. At the LA National Cemetery. So this isn't typically a place where I would visit to go mausoleuming, but it is a unique cemetery. There's my truck, and in the center of it there is these two structures here. They are columbariums. They're from the 40s. This one here, they're kind of crescent shaped. This one here, there we go, a little bit better review. This one here seems to be rows and rows of nothing but cenotaphs. Look at this old brickwork, because it just, every single one says in memory of, and there does not appear to be a space or a niche behind it. And these are all veterans. This looks like from the early 90s. So I'm pretty sure these are cenotaphs. And a cenotaph is, if you don't know, it's just a memorial plaque or something to that effect when there's no actual remains of any kind there. That's the only difference really between that and a grave. So these are still, you know, considered hallowed ground. These are men and women who served, and these could be their only memorial that they have. So it's, you know, it's a serious undertaking that they've done here. Now this is kind of goes around here. Let's take a look at some more. Here's like getting into the 2000s. Look, almost all of them. 2000, 2005. There's a 2020. You can tell we're in LA. You can hear the helicopters everywhere. And what I said earlier, I mean, I know nobody watching this thinks that we are disrespectful or disparaging of anyone's final resting place, but I just wanted to make that be known, that there is no way or any of that intended by this video or any video I do. Pretty interesting, cool little archway here with the bricks. You can see right in the center, and look, just rows and rows. Some of them are blank. They might be open spaces just with the uniformed headstone already made, installed. Now this is kind of interesting right here. There's a sign. Built by United States Work Progress Administration, 1940, the WPA. That was a big economic, that was one of the economic stimulus packages, I guess, that FDR did during the Depression. And he put a lot of people to work, usually federal projects, building infrastructure, bridges, a lot that are still used to this day. Okay, so the walk starts with rows, A1, A2. They're all outdoor columbarium niches. And it looks like to me that these were all started very recently. Look at all the dates. Most of them are 2019, a couple years before. 2019, all veterans, all with some of the conflicts they were in. Look, a lot of Vietnam, Korea. It's about right for this. Look at that Iraq. And that guy was not too old at all. That's too bad. That's really a shame. But yeah, it looks like this is very, very new. Very modern looking. It's kind of hard to make out the names. You got to get real close because of the white on white, and it's so bright out here. It's actually a little warm. I already just showed you my grandma and grandpa's, but now we're just going to take a look at the rest of everything. Look, this is all, these look like there's not a single one that's been used. This whole back wall going all the way back there. Looks like it's going to be expansion. And then, yeah, it looks like they're going this way with it because that was 2019. I'm seeing a lot of 2019 deaths. And then I come here and I'm seeing a lot of 2020. Oh, like, look at this poor guy. Pisano, Sergeant U.S. Marine Corps, Iraq, Persian Gulf, 1988 to 2020. In loving memory of a great man. He was younger than me, and I'm 40. And he died 4 years ago. That's just tragic. 32. A lot of Vietnam, Korea. But unfortunately, like right here, I see a lot of Persian Gulf. That was my time, even though I didn't go to Iraq. I never was in combat. Spiteri, Adam, Specialist, Persian Gulf, 86 to 2020. I was younger, me too. I was born in 1984. A lot of Vietnam. I'm seeing Persian Gulf. Not a lot of World War II guys, but here's one. There is, unfortunately, not very many of those people even left alive. Even people who were even alive, period, in any way during the Second World War, I mean, it's gotten pretty up there in age. I think there's only couple thousand of them left, period, in the world that were combat veterans of World War II. See, there's no in-ground burial here. This is just a park. And it's just these rows and rows of columbarium niches. And like I said, I think it's getting newer and newer as we're walking down, because I'm seeing the dates later on, 2021, 2021. Smith, Kova, World War II. I was a nobody, but due to you, I am a somebody. It looks like, just like my grandma and grandpa, there's some people who are interned with their wives, and husbands probably, you know. U.S. Air Force, Korea. It's nice here in the shade. Yeah, and see, there's still some pretty new flowers here. Not like the other section that was pretty old. You don't see a lot of... And it looks like at the end here, they got these memorials. They're all blank, but they're probably just cenotaph spaces, not for actual remains or cremains, but just a memorial, just a marker. It's getting to be about 2:30 in the afternoon. That sun is right there. We're kind of coming up to where I just showed you my grandparents a minute ago. I know I could take you down every single one of these aisles, but it's just literally exactly the same. Very uniform. much like what you'd find in the military. Very beautiful, though. Very, very well taken care of. Looks like this is kind of the end of the line. And it looks like they're literally filling it up from space to space, just down, because, look, my grandparents are on the other side of that wall. This is getting into 2024 here. They were interned April of 24. Yeah, there's my grandparents right there. And then it looks like it came around here. Now they're filling this side up. Now they're going down. And these are the newest. It looks like they're getting ready to add somebody in 2 spaces. And then they have even the temporary tags. And yeah, look, they're even date of interment 9/20/2024. That was just a couple of days ago. 9/23. I think today is the 24th. And then they got these empty ones. You can kind of take a look at the inside. Pretty spacious. Enough for at least 2 or 3 good sized urns. And then as soon as this is done, what I'm getting at, blank. So it looks like they're not letting people pick out their own spots. It's just filling up. Maintenance guys. And look, it's just blank row after blank row after blank row, like something from a dystopian sci-fi novel. Everything's blank. And that increases my suspicion. And in fact, I talked to them a little bit more about my own options for here, because I'm a 100% disabled veteran. I don't think these, if they sell them, they're for a greatly reduced price, like not what you would find on the open market. And I think because it's a national cemetery for veterans and their families only, that you kind of get the space that you get. And it looks like the one here is they're filling it up alphabetically. And think of that. I mean, look, that's what's crazy though. Look how far they filled this up, a little bit less than halfway. And that's only been 5 years. And so I guarantee you, these sections here will fill up quicker than you would imagine. And you know what? I would almost guarantee once that happens, you're going to see them building over here. And then, because all this space looks like it's not cemetery property behind it. And in fact, if you look forward, that big building way out in the distance there, that's the top of the VA hospital in downtown Los Angeles. So this is all owned by the VA. And there's a memorial home there. And I think there's not even any property in between us and that. I think this is all just VA property. So there's plenty of people, you know, passing away. So, or veterans, I mean, it's unfortunate but true. It's just getting to that age and time. It looks like it kind of ends over here. Like I said, it's all open. There's nothing, all blank. I wonder who will be the final one. All blank. A 30, maybe it's that back wall will be the final. If my calculations are correct, that one right there in the corner should be the last one. I wonder how many thousands of spaces are here. Yeah, this just looks like a little expansion of the cemetery that looks like they added. They probably just had the property, you know, and probably had it rezoned to cemetery and opened up this cool little expansion. I think it's nice, especially since my grandparents are going to spend eternity here. So, seems like a pretty nice place. I think my Grandpa Bob would have approved. My Grandma Judy would have definitely approved of the Bible verse on the, here's the outside gate. She definitely would have approved of the Bible verse on her tomb, on the stone. Yeah, Los Angeles National Cemetery. Nice. And then there's the gate. Well, thank you for going with me on my small little tour of some of the columbarium spaces of the LA National Cemetery. I know it wasn't normally a video I would do, but it was still very cool, and I feel very honored to have seen these veterans' final resting place, and very happy to see how good they take care of it. It is in all respects in excellent shape. One of the best kept and cared for cemeteries I've ever seen, period. And I'm glad to see that. Glad to see my tax dollars at least go into that. And not just as a veteran myself, but just as a citizen of the country. And oh, I wish it was a little cooler. I probably would have spent a little bit more time, but typical California, late September, it's getting warm again. And it's LA, and I'm hungry and I'm thirsty, and I just need to get going. So I hope you guys enjoyed this short little video with Tony's favorite subscriber right now. Just joking. But I wish, I have one request of everybody, as I'd love to see some other people submit some videos of some places where they're at around the country, around the world, especially some mausoleums or something, and maybe in Canada or the Midwest or Australia or anywhere, Europe. Somebody else, please. It's really not that hard as you think. I remember being nervous the first time I did this, but now I'm pretty smooth at it. Just remember landscape if you're using your phone. Take care, everyone.